Well, good morning. Happy Monday to you, friends. It is a brand new week, and we're starting it off on a good note.
That's right.
I'm Tim Pham.
And I'm Channing Curtis. Thanks so much for starting off your work week with us here on Up with KREM. We love to see you all.
It's an honor.
It is. We love it. Let's get right over to meteorologist Thomas Patrick this morning, because Thomas, you're telling us about some rain that's going to impact some of our plans this week.
Yeah, it does look like today is going to be the rainiest day of the week, but most every day will have at least some kind of chance because it is going to be a slightly unsettled weather pattern moving forward. But this morning, mostly rain, but some areas may be seeing some snowfall. It's a very little effect, I do think. So we do see this snow shower that just passed by Deer Park. It's moving towards areas like Newport and Old Town. There are also some areas in Lincoln County, especially out towards Wilbur, that are likely seeing snowfall. But it's that wet and slushy snow that might as well be rain at this point because those temperatures are still above freezing. A lot of temps in this region are at around 35 degrees. So if it is snowing, it is likely not sticking this morning.
This morning, we continue to follow breaking news. Multiple agencies are investigating what they are calling a critical incident in Airway Heights. So we're still working to find out what this means exactly. We do know it happened on South Campbell Street between West 15th and 18th. KREM 2's Brandon T. Jones has been there all morning long gathering details for us. So Brandon, what do you know about what's happening there? Good morning.
Yeah, good morning, Tim. Well, we'll likely have some more confirmed and more detailed information a little bit later this morning. But at this point, that investigation is still going on. Not too long ago, we saw a tow truck arrive to the scene and go underneath that crime scene tape. I want to go ahead and step out of the way really quick so I can try to give you just kind of a better idea of what I'm seeing, because that right there is that tow truck right over there. I'll try to zoom in a little bit. You can see the crime scene tape. You can see a large trailer out there to signal where that investigation is taking place, where officers and CSI members can go ahead and kind of debrief on situations. But it looks like they're trying to get that vehicle back there onto the tow truck. It's kind of at an angle that seems to be making that a little bit difficult. But we've been seeing investigators out here throughout the entire morning just taking pictures, and you can see some of those flashing lights as well. But again, once we get any type of new information, any new details, we'll be able to keep you posted and keep you informed across all of our platforms. At this point, it still is a little bit unclear what exactly took place. All we do know, though, really is that they have been out here for several hours. We had crews here last night once the initial scene became active with law enforcement. So again, any new information we get, we'll keep you updated, keep you posted across all of our platforms. But for now, reporting live in Airway Heights, Brandon T. Jones, KREM 2 News.
Well, this morning we have new information on a deadly law enforcement shooting that happened in North Spokane last Tuesday. Spokane County deputies say that a man tried to attack them with an axe before they shot and killed him. Now, this all happened on North Kalispell Street. According to a report from an independent investigative team, deputies responded to a call of a man threatening his neighbors. When deputies entered the home and tried to arrest the man, they say he swung an axe at them, and deputies then shot the man. He was later pronounced dead. A canine and a deputy were also injured as well.
Happening today, Idaho's longest-serving death row inmate will be back in court this morning. Arguments are scheduled for Thomas Creech's motion to stop his execution. In their motion, Creech's attorneys said the state cannot execute him because he still has an ongoing appeal for his conviction. He's challenging his death sentence under the 8th Amendment because a judge, not a jury, sentenced him to death. Creech is currently scheduled to be executed February 28th. That hearing is set for 7:50 this morning.
Well, burst pipes during last month's cold snap forced the Falls and Athl libraries to close, and now they'll remain closed for at least several months. The burst pipes caused some extensive damage, including to all of their books and their computers as well. The library network director estimates that repairs could cost more than $1 million.
Extremely hard on the staff. It was very emotional and draining and stressful. We're still looking at the summer being closed through spring and 4 to 6 months for both projects.
Libraries will now remove all of their books to start demolishing the carpet and the drywall. In the meantime, the libraries plan on creating programs for students and kids to enjoy at other library locations.
A couple accused of shooting at both of their exes are back together in the Spokane County Jail.
Lori Tom is the second person to be arrested for a string of shootings spanning from Spokane all the way to Seattle. KREM 2's Kyle Simchuk has the latest.
Lori Tom was arrested by authorities in Idaho back in January. She's now back in Spokane facing 2 counts of assault and 1 count of attempted first-degree murder. Her fiance, a former East Valley High School teacher, has been in jail for several months now. Prosecutors say Lori Tom and her fiance Benjamin Hill were involved in several shootings targeting Hill's ex-wife at her home, on her way to work, and another at a Cheney Starbucks.
We're talking about multiple times that Miss Terry Hill was allegedly shot at.
Prosecutors believe Tom was with Hill during the shootings and helped cover his tracks. Hill, a former teacher at East Valley High School, was arrested in October and faces multiple charges, including attempted murder. Hill's ex-wife told police she believed he was trying to kill her and discovered he had taken out a $750,000 life insurance policy in her name and had been making payments since 2010.
There was a lot of information that was developed over a long period of time regarding all these shootings. And it should be noted, some of those forensic investigation required accessing phone data, which suggest that phones associated with Ms. Tom, as well as phones associated with Mr. Hill, were being picked up or pinged on in certain locations where the shootings were taking place at.
On top of the cell phone data, police found 3 guns in the couple's car. According to court documents, 2 of them are linked to the shootings in Spokane and Cheney and a separate shooting in Seattle, where Tom's ex-husband was the target. Court documents also show what detectives found on Tom's phone looking through her search history, including life insurance, how to get an ex to pay for attorney fees, suicide methods, and lorazepam overdose.
Given the extraordinary amount of work that Detective Walker put into this particular case, this court believes that there's probably going to be additional charges that are going to be sought.
And today, Court Commissioner Eugene Cruz set Tom's bond at $1 million. Benjamin Hill, who has been in jail since October, is currently being held on $2 million. Reporting from the Spokane County Courthouse tonight, Kyle Simchuk, KREM 2 News.
It is 6:08 right now. Let's take a look at your morning rush. More news in less time. A woman was sadly killed over the weekend after being hit by 2 cars. Now, this all happened Saturday night at the intersection of North Morton Street and East Empire Avenue. Police say a person driving down Empire hit the 35-year-old woman as she was crossing the street. Then just moments later, another car hit her as well. Police arrested the driver of that first car for vehicular homicide. And Coeur d'Alene police arrested a wanted man after an hours-long SWAT standoff. Police say that a witness tipped them off that 34-year-old Ryan Glenn Covey was in a restroom near Atlas Waterfront Park. Police arrived and surrounded the restroom. SWAT officers even used gas to try and force him out, and Covey was then arrested. The U.S. Fish and Wildlife Service are denying gray wolves protection under the Endangered Species Act. The Center for Biological Diversity with other conservation groups are seeking federal protection for gray wolves in the northern Rocky Mountains. This means that wolves will continue to be managed under state control in Idaho, Montana, and parts of eastern Oregon and Washington as well. The agency did say that they will be developing a nationwide plan for gray wolves, which are listed as endangered in 44 states. And that's a look at your morning rush.
Well, our conditions this morning are going to be very wet, but some of you may be seeing snowfall as of this hour. But we're not worried about the snowfall, quite simply because our temperatures are above the freezing mark right now. Take a couple examples like 36 in Deer Park and 38 in Pullman. Now, keep those numbers in mind because we're going to show you Doppler radar right now. So we have seen a bit of some snowfall, especially near Deer Park and out towards Davenport, light snow showers. But again, it was 36 degrees. So it probably wasn't sticking to the ground. And then the same story on the Palouse. Notice this area between Pullman and Moscow. That looks like it would be snow, but we just said it was 38 degrees. And 38 is pretty warm for it to be snowing. So it's probably that very wet snowfall that's just melting the moment it hits the ground. So that's the situation we're looking at this morning. This is effectively rainfall, but realize that you might be seeing a few snowflakes between now and sunrise.